Cowboys Nation, welcome back to Dallas Game Day, and today we need to talk about something serious. Something that could define not just the next few weeks, but the entire Dallas Cowboys season. The defense is in shambles. We all saw it with our own eyes against the Green Bay Packers in that wild 40-40 tie. Dak Prescott and the offense did their job. Brandon Aubrey came through when he had to. Brian Schottenheimer put his fingerprints on this team and had them fighting until the end. But once again, the defense, our defense, collapsed. The Packers did whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted, and if the Cowboys don't act now, this could be the story of the season. And that brings us to the name on everyone's lips, Riq Woolen. Yes, the Pro Bowl cornerback from the Seattle Seahawks, the same guy who tied for the NFL lead with 6 interceptions in his rookie year back in 2022, the same guy who has racked up 42 pass defenses and 11 interceptions in just 52 games. This isn't speculation. According to insider reports, Woolen could be available on the trade block as Seattle shifts under head coach Mike Macdonald. And Dallas cannot, absolutely cannot, ignore this opportunity. Let's be honest, Cowboys Nation, this defense hasn't been the same since the Micah Parsons trade. We all knew losing Micah would change the identity of the unit, but we hoped the collective would step up. That hasn't happened. 4 sacks through 3 games, huge breakdowns in coverage. Russell Wilson looking like it was 2015 all over again when he shredded this secondary with the Giants, and then Jordan Love and the Packers marching up and down the field as if no one was in their way. It's been embarrassing, and it's been painful to watch. Riq Woolen is exactly the type of player who could change that narrative. At 6'4" with blazing speed, he has the size and athleticism to match up with today's big-bodied, explosive wideouts. He's still just 25 years old, and he's proven he can create turnovers, something this defense desperately needs. Right now, quarterbacks are way too comfortable against Dallas. They're not scared to throw deep. They're not worried about tight windows, and that has to change. Woolen has the kind of range and ball-hawking ability to bring fear back to opposing quarterbacks. Now, let's talk reality. Yes, the Cowboys have been trying to stay confident in their own guys. They've been hyping up Siobhan Revel Jr., and he might turn into something down the line, but relying on a rookie to fix this defense, that's not fair to him, and it's not realistic for where this team wants to go. Dallas is trying to win now. Dak Prescott is 32 years old, playing some of the best football of his career under Schottenheimer. The window is open, but it won't stay open forever. You can't waste that by letting the defense continue to sink the ship. And think about the message this trade would send. Bringing in Woolen tells the locker room, we're serious. We're not settling for mediocrity. We're going all in. It energizes the fan base, it gives the defense a leader in the secondary, and it might just be the spark this team needs heading into the brutal stretch of the schedule. Remember, after Week 3, the Cowboys face some of the toughest offenses in football down the stretch. You can't go into that gauntlet with a defense giving up 400-plus yards a game. Jerry Jones has never been shy about making bold moves. He's taken risks, he's gambled, and sometimes he struck gold. This is one of those moments. Seattle is in rebuild mode, and Woolen is heading toward free agency. The price won't be cheap, but it won't be outrageous either. Likely a mid-round pick or maybe a conditional second. And if Dallas truly believes in making a run this year, that's a price worth paying. Let's not forget, this team has been here before. Remember when they traded for Amari Cooper in 2018? That move changed the entire offense overnight. Dak found his rhythm, the team got rolling, and it gave the Cowboys a jolt that carried them into the playoffs. Woolen could be the same kind of midseason shot in the arm, only this time for the defense. Look, Cowboys Nation, this isn't about hope anymore. It's about action. The defense has been exposed for 3 weeks straight. The adjustments haven't worked. The rotation isn't deep enough. The communication in the secondary is a mess. You can either wait and hope it magically fixes itself, or you can act and give your team the best chance to compete. Woolen isn't just a Band-Aid. He's a Pro Bowl caliber player who could anchor the cornerback position for years if Dallas locks him up long term. So here's the bottom line. The Dallas Cowboys can't ignore this. Riq Woolen is available, and he is the kind of player who could transform this defense from a liability into a weapon again. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Brian Schottenheimer, if you're listening, make the call. Don't let this chance slip away. And now I want to hear from you, Cowboys fans. Should Jerry Jones go after Riq Woolen and bring a Pro Bowl corner to Dallas? Do you think it's worth the risk to give up a draft pick for immediate help? Or should the team stay patient and trust the guys they've got? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button if you believe in this team, and subscribe to Dallas Game Day for every update, every rumor, and every reaction. Because the season is far from over, and with the right move, the star on the helmet can shine brighter than ever.